And I think gold and silver and the dollar, those three things that we focus on, will have a profoundly different view. All three will in the coming months ahead. And so
join Andy Schectman, CEO and president of Miles Franklin, as he reveals why central banks are hoarding gold and what it means for the future of global finance. Discover the secrets behind the gold revaluation account, the BRICS nation's gold-backed currency, and the game-changing project Embridge. Uncover how these moves could dethrone the US dollar and revolutionize the world economy. Stay tuned to find out why this might be the most critical financial shift of our time.
I've been thinking a lot about that lately, and call me crazy, but, well, I probably am. That's besides the point. But, the head of the Dutch National Bank really inspired my thinking on this. So follow me on this for a moment. The head of the Dutch National Bank said, our balance sheet is going negative, but I really don't worry too much about it because we have the gold and the gold revaluation account. And although we can't use it as an asset against a liability, we know it's there. Now, basically first of all, let me clarify. Gold held in central bank balance sheets is called the gold revaluation account. It's in the gold revaluation account, which is a very interesting name for an account for which they hold all of their gold. What Roosevelt did over my shoulder, he revalued gold by devaluing the dollar. And I find it interesting that so many of these central banks are accumulating gold at the level that they are, along with accumulating so much debt at the same time. Massive amounts of debt, massive amounts of gold accumulation. And there's one other piece, and that is, 30 countries or so who have repatriated their gold from the epicenters of usually considered safety. That would be the Bank of the Federal Reserve Bank in New York and the Bank of England, which would by proxy give access to the COMEX and the metals exchange in London, the LBMA. And if you think about it, I mean, now that we've been told that the new unit currency, which is the BRICS default currency, which it looks like they are going to run with, according to Delma Rousseff, the head of the BRICS New Development Bank, realizing that Project Embridge is the vehicle by which they'll trade. And who's part of the Project Embridge? The Bank of International Settlements. What did the Bank of International Settlements do? Oh, that's right. They reclassified gold as the world's only other tier 1 reserve asset. Now, follow me here. It would just seem likely to me that all of these countries who have been told not only to buy gold, and if you go back to 2017, as we've talked about, these banks have been massively accumulating gold, copiously so, for the past 8 years or so, and maybe longer, and or 7. Anyways, but repatriating their gold is just as big of a deal. We talked about India buying 1.5 times the amount of gold that they bought in all of last year, just in the first 4 months of this year, and repatriating it. All of the countries bringing their gold back from the New York Fed, including Saudi Arabia, who is a full participant in Project Embridge. Now, follow me. I'm coming full circle with this. So you got a new system that we are being told will be tied to gold by 40%, and that will be the unit currency. And I suggest everyone even just go to the website, the unit website, and read their white paper. And then you have a new settlement platform, that being Project Embridge, that will sidestep the SWIFT. So the unit is the settlement currency. Project Embridge is the vehicle where each country can trade their own autonomous central bank currencies, having their own monetary policy, and yet settling in a common reserve currency. All of this points to lack of ownership in treasuries and accumulation in physical gold. If you read the white paper on the unit, it allows for each country to hold their gold in their own sovereignty, in their own borders, and have it audited, independently audited. This is why they're all bringing it home, because you can hold your gold according to this new currency settlement, the unit, in your own borders, right? But it has to maintain this strict protocol and be audited. All right. So all of these countries accumulating gold, at the same time, they know what's coming, so they're accumulating wicked amounts of debt, right? What did the guy say, the head of the central bank say for the Dutch National Bank. Oh, yeah, we're okay because we got the gold in the gold revaluation account. Kind of slipped there, right? So you think all of these countries going deeper and deeper, deeper into debt. At the same time, they're buying more and more gold and bringing it all home. Bang, they revalue gold. Just like that. There will come a time where they revalue gold and gold skyrockets, making their balance sheet from putrid to solvent, just like that. Because right now, the gold held in that gold revaluation account is not able to be counted as an asset against a liability. If they revalue it and change it to where it is now an asset on their balance sheet, everyone's balance sheet goes from upside down to perfect. Gold is now an asset that can be held in your own borders for the new unit currency traded on the Embridge. Do you see how this becomes very serious very quickly for the settlement status of the dollar and the reserve status of the bond market? And when you talk about little by little by little by little by little by little, and then someday all at once, it is so clear that it's in front of us, yet no one's really putting all these dots together. To me, it makes great sense. And they understand what inflation does. They understand that the inflation is out of control. They get it. The money creation has been off the charts and continues through brain dead, irresponsible fiscal policy, creating $1 trillion every 100 days, and probably a lot more than that. And that's just the U.S. Everyone is doing the same thing. And so the point of it is there is an answer. Keep buying gold, repatriate it from all of the centers where it used to be held, so you had access to the LBMA and the COMEX. Now you bring it home because it will be part of a new settlement currency that you keep in your own sovereignty that will be audited independently, but gives you the ability to sidestep SWIFT, be free from sanctions. You put it all together, it kills all these birds with one stone, and the BIS is behind it. The same entity that revalued gold to a tier one asset. And one last piece to the puzzle is that Project Embridge is not compatible with US dollars. So when you have the biggest oil producer in the world sign on as a full participant to Embridge, something that is not compatible with US dollars, you start to see these pieces coming together. Now, this is why you get the dollar bulls and the recency bias people saying all of this is a nothing burger, because they can't see past a couple of days or weeks or months. They're so narrowly focused, they don't see what is happening. But to your point, all of these banks understand exactly what they're doing with inflation, and they understand exactly what gold is. But in order to kill that bird, along with all of the other birds relating to this new settlement status that the BIS is behind the most powerful bank in the world, it's setting the stage for a massive gold revaluation, which will not only allow you, as you've said many times, to survive, but also to potentially thrive. If I'm right, those few people who are holding gold will thrive. And when we talk about silver, look, let's not ignore silver. We'll talk more about it, but it is being wickedly accumulated by countries like India. I wouldn't forget about silver. It is not a tier one like gold, but it is also something that I believe should be characterized as strategic. And we're on the cusp of some very big things. And I think gold and silver and the dollar, those three things that we focus on, will have a profoundly different view. All three will in the coming months ahead. And so, yeah, I think gold is the tool for protection against inflation, and so do, I think, the most powerful people in the world.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive with Andy Schectman, CEO and President of Miles Franklin. If you found this information eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the future of global finance. Stay informed, stay prepared, and keep an eye on gold, the linchpin of a rapidly evolving economic landscape. Until next time, stay tuned for more